Last week was snow week, and this week we traveled to Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. It's about a 7-hour drive. There's the train going by. Can you see it?
Yeah, it's going.
Oh, there it is up there.
Going through town.
But we had to wait on a table for this restaurant. It's upstairs in this casino. And I sat and drew. There's a basketball game on. These are security cameras, and then the little casino machines. What are those called? Slot machines. And this area is kind of a waiting area to go up to the restaurant. And I just loosely drew things in. There's my art supplies. And then the next day, I just kind of walked around town. In fact, this church I did again in another sketchbook because there's these Mardi Gras streamers hanging down. So these were real. In fact, this was from my car. I got out and took a picture of it. And then the water there was crazy low. Look how far back that water goes, all the way back. I've never seen it back that far.
Like Moses and the Israelites walking across the Red Sea right there.
Wait, you see those right there? Those looks like piers. Were those visible before? Or were they underwater?
No, they're usually underwater.
So those are usually underwater. Those right there.
Yeah, you normally can't see them.
Man. Let's go look at the boats. Between, I think the northern winds were blowing everything out, and I've never seen the water there like that. It was 23 degrees north winds, and we had a full moon, so it was crazy. Then we traveled to Sturgis, Mississippi to check on some land there and some trees. The old McKee barn. This is a very, very old barn. I can't even believe it is still standing. But I also did this from my car while Paul kind of got out and checked on trees that need to be cut down. Oh, and then I forgot I did that one. That's just an old, a boat that's in front of our house. But I think I want to try the barn on a smoother paper. So let's use these. Ultramarine, cerulean, orange, and raw sienna. I think those are the colors. I'll use these two brushes and a flat and a couple of microns and some fine liners. Well, no, these are the fine liners. These are the brush pens. I'm going to start with this. It's a cool gray and it's number 230, but it almost appears it's so light, it appears like a pencil lead, but you won't see it at the end, is why I like to use it, and I don't have to erase with it. So I have several pictures of the barn that's almost falling down. I think I'll go with this one. I'll put it on the screen. I like to put dots where I think things are just in the beginning. Otherwise, I make things too small. Here's the door, or I make it too big. And I'm just gonna roughly put in this, just the big shapes. And I'm just treating this marker as if it's a pencil. There looks like there's some wood there. I'm just measuring where how the roof lines up to this side, and where does that door start? It kind of starts at the edge. And we used to store hay in this old barn. And you can see the flooring. I wouldn't dare get in there now. There's also a well somewhere around here, an old well that none of us can remember where, and I'm afraid we'll step in it. And this is literally in the middle of nowhere land. So now I'm just going to take a fine liner. It doesn't matter which one. I just like to do a thin one that's also waterproof. And I'm just going to go through and correct some of my pencil or gray marker. I'm just using this one's called Sand. And I'm just going to add marker before I do the watercolor, just to help guide me where my sun is hitting. This is the ultramarine blue. And the burnt sienna. Makes a nice gray color when it's mixed together. These trees, these are the trees we had to go check on because they are close to a cemetery, and we have several large trees that are they're afraid are gonna hit into the tombstones. So we went to look and figure out which ones we needed to cut down. One thing that I was taught was, he said, they aren't necessarily dying, it's that they have cat heads in them. I've never heard that expression, so I'm gonna make a cat head right there. That's what they're called. Those little scars on the trees are called cat heads. Have y'all ever heard of that before? I've just never heard that expression. Give it some splatters. I'm going in with this little rigger brush. If you are interested in drawing or painting in this style, I know a lot of people do this, but I think the person that does it the best to me and teaches the best it's Ian Finley. I'll put a link to it, but he actually even has like a free course that you can take, where he really explains how he uses his fine liners and how he uses the rigger brush, and I'll put a link down to it. And now feel like I'm overworking it, but there were so many dead little limbs hanging off this, so I'm just trying to tell that story. So I'm gonna create my shadows with with my brushes, my dual marker brushes on one end and the tip on the other. Now Finley, when he does it, he uses Tombow markers. I think I'm going to actually get this black out for the I'm just putting in the boards. I think this reads better. It's just a dark area. I don't think it needs that much information. I really wanted to do this exercise in this sketchbook just because I wanted to compare the papers. This paper is cold press and it's completely smooth. This has a little texture on it, and you see how it granulates, you know, all of that. This one seems to spread out better and smooth. So out of the two, I really think I like just the smooth cold press paper, for the watercolor at least. And then you can go back through and add your final touches or detail when it all dries. Or down here. So I just looked it up. And so here's your tree, and then this is the damaged part of the tree, and this part is lighter. And this part is all bark, but then this is the scar, and inside that, where the sap no longer grows, it develops these slashes, and the rows of slashes resembles a little cat face. The slashes resembles the whiskers. You learn something new every day. Now I'm going to try a little experiment. I've got the acrylic gouache underpaintings here with the opera and the yellow ochre. And I'm going to use regular gouache on top and see how that works. Because if I have this as an underpainting, my thought is I can't pull that up. I just went in with a light sketch with this pencil, and then I'm going to use these colors, and this is my complementary color, and I'm going to try to add a touch of this color to all of these, but in a gouache, not acrylic. So with this hot pink color, I'm going to use my complementary color of green and use the same palette and see what this color palette with the underpainting will give me. The main purpose of this exercise really was to see if I could do an underpainting of the acrylic gouache and then paint on top with the regular gouache. And I like the results. These are just quick studies, quick color studies. I think I love the hot pink underneath, but you know, I love pink. So anyway, I think that was a fun little study. All right, I will see you next week for something different.